It is very hard for archaeologists to explain how that was done using purely leverage and mechanical advantage. You can say, oh, perhaps they built a ramp and hauled the stones up the ramp. Then you have to confront basic laws of physics. You can't haul a stone weighing tens of tons up a slope that exceeds 10 degrees.
Show me one other site which is 12,000 years old, which is built out of megaliths. Show me there was no culture in the world 12,000 years ago that was capable of that level of organization. If there was, we would find other sites.
Welcome to the mysteries of Sigiriya, the ancient sky fortress perched high above the jungles of Sri Lanka. Imagine a towering rock rising 660 feet into the sky, topped with a palace that seems to touch the clouds. But the questions that boggle the mind are, why and how did ancient humans build such an awe-inspiring structure, complete with a vast body of water high above the ground? In today's video, we'll climb the steps of Sigiriya, uncover its hidden secrets, and explore the incredible engineering feats of the past. Stay tuned as we unravel how this fortress was not just a marvel of beauty, but a masterpiece of ancient technology. Did you know that the stunning Sigiriya, or Lion Rock, has a story that reaches deep into the history of Sri Lankan royalty? This tale begins in the 5th century AD, chronicled vividly in the ancient Kulavamsa. This epic documents the saga of King Kasyapa, who ruled from 477 to 495 CE. In a dramatic twist of events, Kasyapa seized the throne from his half-brother Moggallana, setting the stage for a story of intrigue and architectural marvel. To safeguard himself against potential retaliation, Kasyapa moved the capital from Anuradhapura to the formidable Sigiriya rock. There, atop a 200-meter-high granite monolith, he commissioned the construction of a fortress and a luxurious palace, a clear display of his wealth and a testament to his architectural vision. However, after the fall of Kasyapa's dynasty, Sigiriya slipped into the shadows, cloaked by dense forest overgrowth and fading from collective memory. It wasn't until 1831 that the site re-emerged into the spotlight. That year, Major Jonathan Forbes of the 78th Highlanders, part of the British Army, rediscovered Sigiriya during a horseback expedition through the central forests of what was then Ceylon, now known as Sri Lanka. Stumbling upon this magnificent rock fortress and its ruins, Forbes's findings reignited global interest. His detailed writings and sketches brought Sigiriya back from obscurity, captivating colonial officials and scholars alike, and paving the way for future archaeological explorations. Following the rediscovery of Sigiriya by Major Jonathan Forbes, the archaeological spotlight turned toward this enigmatic structure, leading to its eventual excavation. The initial efforts to study Sigiriya were rather haphazard, lacking a systematic approach typical of early antiquarian activities in the region. However, a significant shift occurred in 1895 when H.C.P. Bell, the first Commissioner of Archaeology for Ceylon and a British archaeologist, took charge. Bell's structured investigations laid the groundwork for understanding Sigiriya's complex layout and rich historical tapestry, illuminating various facets of its construction and artistic achievements. As the 20th century progressed, the Department of Archaeology of Sri Lanka took the helm, bringing a new level of rigor to the exploration of Sigiriya. These systematic archaeological excavations really began to take shape by the mid-century, further accelerated when Sigiriya was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the 1980s. This period marked intense activities that included detailed mapping of the site, careful excavation of the gardens, and meticulous restoration of the ancient frescoes. Speaking of frescoes, these vibrant paintings on Sigiriya's western face are truly a sight to behold. Depicting celestial maidens known as apsaras, these artworks showcase the exceptional skill of ancient Sri Lankan artists. Created with natural mineral pigments, these frescoes have withstood the ravages of time, their colors still vivid after more than 1,000 years. Their creation technique, reminiscent of the fresco secco method seen in India's Ajanta caves, highlights a shared artistic tradition across the region, though Sigiriya's frescoes have a unique stylistic flair that seems to capture the maidens in ethereal motion, as if floating in the air. The site's water gardens are yet another marvel. Unearthed through diligent excavation, these gardens reveal an intricate hydraulic system featuring pools, pavilions, and dynamically engineered fountains. This level of sophistication in water management suggests comparisons with the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, illustrating that such engineering marvels were not confined to the Western world. Sigiriya's gardens were not only aesthetically pleasing but also a demonstration of advanced hydraulic technology and urban planning by ancient engineers. Then there's the mirror wall, originally so well polished that it reflected King Kasyapa's image as he passed. Over centuries, this wall became a canvas for the thoughts and musings of visitors, covered in inscriptions that date back to the 6th century. These writings, ranging from poetry to personal reflections, provide a unique glimpse into the minds of ancient travelers, similar to modern-day guestbooks. This tradition of leaving one's mark is a human impulse seen across cultures and epochs, evident in places as far-reaching as the pyramids of Giza, where ancient graffiti also tells stories of those who came before us. Exploring further into the architectural wonders of Sigiriya, let's delve into why this location was chosen for such a grand fortress. The natural setting of Sigiriya itself offers some clues. Rising about 200 meters above the plains, the sheer height of this massive rock column provided unparalleled defensive benefits. This elevation was not just daunting for potential invaders to scale, but it also offered inhabitants a broad vantage point, allowing them to see for miles and spot any approaching threats long before they reached the fortress. The rock's steep and rugged sides further shielded the fortress, making direct assaults nearly impossible without advanced siege techniques. Just above the water gardens, the boulder gardens of Sigiriya paint a vivid picture of how natural landscapes were skillfully incorporated into the fortress's design. This area is dotted with large, naturally occurring boulders that have been cleverly integrated into the overall layout. Winding pathways snake around these colossal stones, leading to hidden nooks and strategic lookout points. These boulders weren't just pleasing to the eye, they played a crucial role in the fortress's defense, acting as natural barriers and fortified posts. This strategic use of natural rock formations is somewhat akin to the serene rock gardens of Ryoanji in Kyoto, Japan. Although both gardens feature natural stones, Sigiriya's boulder gardens were primarily designed for defense and control, while Ryoanji's layout aims for contemplation and aesthetic appreciation. Climbing higher, the terraced gardens mark the final stages of the ascent to Sigiriya's summit. Here, a series of staircases and pathways are carved directly into the rock face, not only facilitating access to the top but also allowing for the cultivation of gardens and the construction of small structures along the way. These terraces seamlessly integrate the sheer cliffs into the fortress's architecture, showcasing the ingenuity of ancient Sri Lankan architects who transformed a challenging environment into a livable and defensible space. This method of using terraces can be compared to the ancient Incan city of Machu Picchu, which also features gardens cut into mountainous terrain. Both Sigiriya and Machu Picchu utilized the verticality of their landscapes to enhance agriculture, habitation, and defense, demonstrating a deep understanding of how to adapt architecture to the natural environment effectively. As we've ascended through the layered terraces and lush gardens of Sigiriya, it's impossible not to marvel at its defensive capabilities, which are as impressive as its architecture. The entire fortress was safeguarded by a massive moat and towering walls. The approach to the rock itself was ingeniously designed to be narrow, funneling potential attackers into a tight space where they could be more easily repelled. Throughout the fortress, large boulders were strategically placed, ready to be rolled down on invaders, and certain staircases were cleverly designed to be easily removable or destroyed, preventing enemy progression. At the pinnacle of Sigiriya, extensive residential quarters once stood, serving as the royal abode for King Kasyapa and his retinue. These buildings were robustly constructed from bricks and stones, with some walls still resiliently standing. The stone blocks used in construction, though their exact weight is unknown, are estimated to weigh several tons each, hinting at the remarkable effort that went into their assembly. To create a flat area on the summit, large amounts of rock and soil were excavated, likely requiring immense manpower and possibly even elephant power, underscoring the vast resources at King Kasyapa's command. Drawing an interesting parallel, the construction feats of Sigiriya can be likened to those of the Incas' Machu Picchu in Peru. Both iconic structures were built in demanding locations, yet they demonstrate an extraordinary ability to blend architectural elements with the natural landscape. Machu Picchu, nestled between mountain peaks and featuring agricultural terraces and planned residential areas, echoes Sigiriya's integration of form and function within its environment. The scale of material moved and the meticulousness of Sigiriya's construction spotlight its stature as a marvel of ancient urban planning and engineering. More than just a military stronghold, Sigiriya symbolized royal authority and divine kingship, with its strategic defenses, luxurious residential quarters, and enchanting pleasure gardens all set against the backdrop of ingenious human innovation. This combination not only fortified the fortress physically, but also enshrined it as an indelible symbol of cultural and historical significance in ancient Sri Lanka.
There was a Spanish traveler who crossed the entire width of South America. Some years after the conquest of Peru had begun, he reported seeing huge cities. Within 100 years, other Spaniards were in there exploring. They couldn't find the cities. So they said, he must have made it all up. And that's what academia continued to say. And they're only being found now.
Perched on the rugged hills overlooking the ancient city of Cusco, the capital of the Inca Empire, stands the majestic fortress of Sacsayhuaman. This colossal structure, crafted with mind-boggling precision and architectural genius, has withstood the ravages of time, silently guarding the secrets of a civilization long past.
This is one of those cases where the science is even more sensational than the headlines.
Imagine stones so large and perfectly fitted that not even a piece of paper can slide between them, and you begin to grasp the mystery and allure of Sacsayhuaman. This fortress, more than just a military bastion, is a testament to the Incas' advanced understanding of engineering, astronomy, and their profound connection to the natural world, challenging us to rethink our perceptions of the ancient world. Its story begins long before it caught the eye of Western historians and archaeologists, having been a significant part of local life and culture well before the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire in the early 16th century.
The horrendous catastrophe of the Spanish conquest. The Spanish sent ahead of them terrible diseases like smallpox.
The Spanish first encountered Sacsayhuaman during their conquest of Cusco in 1533. Led by Francisco Pizarro and his brothers, the conquistadors were immediately struck by the grandeur and precision of the fortress, which was then a central feature of the Inca capital. Among the earliest and most vivid descriptions we have of Sacsayhuaman were penned by Pedro Sancho, Pizarro's secretary. Writing shortly after the fall of Cusco, Sancho's detailed accounts, alongside those of his contemporaries, provided a first glimpse into the size of the stones and the sophistication of the construction, laying a foundation for future archaeological investigations.
That's me, for scale, standing beside that block.
As the 19th century rolled around, the ruins of Sacsayhuaman piqued the interest of international travelers and scholars, spurred on by the growing field of archaeology. Notable among these was Ephraim George Squire, who visited Peru in the 1860s. His detailed sketches and descriptions further fueled worldwide interest and brought more attention to the site's historical and architectural significance. By the early 20th century, the first systematic studies were underway, mapping the site's structures and attempting to understand its historical context. However, these early efforts were often limited by the techniques of the time and a colonial mindset that occasionally misinterpreted the site's purpose and construction.
Archaeology gives this work entirely to the Incas, even though the Incas themselves recognized and honored the work of predecessors.
Advancements in archaeological methods in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, including digital mapping, detailed stratigraphic analysis, and remote sensing, have significantly enhanced our understanding of Sacsayhuaman. These modern techniques have shed light on the construction sequence, the true extent of the site, and its various phases of use, ensuring that each stone and artifact found continues to contribute to the story of a civilization known for its remarkable architectural feats and deep integration with its environment and the cosmos. The construction of Sacsayhuaman stands as a pinnacle of Incan engineering and craftsmanship, incorporating advanced techniques that continue to puzzle historians and engineers even today. The massive boulders used in its construction were quarried from limestone deposits around Cusco, and transporting these behemoths some weighing as much as 200 tons and spanning several kilometers, remains one of the great enigmas of Incan ability. It is believed that thousands of laborers, without the aid of the wheel or large animals, maneuvered these stones using nothing but logs, ropes, and collective human strength. The cutting precision of these stones is nothing short of extraordinary. The Incas mastered a technique known as ashlar masonry, which allowed them to fit stones so tightly together that no mortar was needed. The fit is so snug that not even a blade of grass can slip through the joints, which also provided significant earthquake resistance. The stones could shift slightly and resettle without causing the structure to collapse, an essential feature in the earthquake-prone Andes. Moreover, the architectural layout of the walls, composed of gigantic stones in a zigzag pattern, forms 3 parallel lines that merge into a formidable barrier. This design served not only as a strategic military defense, but also held symbolic meanings, perhaps representing the teeth of a puma, with Cusco itself theorized to be laid out in the shape of this sacred animal when viewed from above. Expanding beyond its visible structure, the layout of Sacsayhuaman is deeply complex and extends into both ceremonial and strategic realms. The zigzag walls, stretching over 600 meters, seem to echo the jagged peaks of the Andes themselves, blending the natural landscape into its sacred architecture. This design not only provided a stunning aesthetic connection to its surroundings, but also reflected the Incas' profound reverence for nature and the deities believed to reside within these natural elements. Researchers have also suggested that Sacsayhuaman's design incorporates an acoustic feature. Tests have shown that sounds made at certain points within the complex can be clearly heard across vast distances without any echo, indicating a sophisticated understanding of sound dynamics. This acoustical engineering would have been particularly advantageous during large gatherings and ceremonies, allowing leaders' voices to be projected to extensive crowds. Additionally, the site's astronomical significance is highlighted by the orientations of its walls and specific architectural features, which align with celestial events such as solstices and equinoxes. Continuing with the architectural and engineering marvels of Sacsayhuaman, the Incas demonstrated remarkable ingenuity in water management by incorporating an advanced drainage system within the construction. This system was critical in handling the heavy rainfalls typical of the region, effectively preventing erosion and water damage to the structure. Alongside this, the tiered terraces not only provided a robust defense mechanism, but were also ingeniously used to manage soil erosion and fertility, likely supporting gardens or smaller structures within the complex. When comparing Sacsayhuaman to another iconic Inca site, Machu Picchu, some intriguing differences and similarities emerge, particularly in terms of purpose, function, and construction techniques. Sacsayhuaman, often misconceived solely as a fortress due to its massive walls and strategic location, primarily served as a ceremonial site and a symbol of imperial power and divine authority. In contrast, Machu Picchu, built around the mid-15th century, functioned as a royal estate for Emperor Pachacuti and was heavily focused on religious ceremonies and astronomical observations. The construction styles of these two sites also reflect their differing roles and philosophies. Sacsayhuaman is characterized by the use of enormous stones, meticulously fitted together without the use of mortar. This construction technique, showcasing large-scale monumental architecture, was likely intended to display power and durability. On the other hand, Machu Picchu, while also renowned for its precision stonework, utilizes smaller, more regularly shaped stones that integrate seamlessly with the natural landscape, reflecting an overarching philosophy of harmony and balance with nature. Moreover, the locations and overall designs of Sacsayhuaman and Machu Picchu further highlight their distinct purposes. Sacsayhuaman's position on a high plateau overlooking Cusco gives it a robust, militaristic, and expansive design, symbolizing its role as a guardian over the capital. In stark contrast, Machu Picchu is nestled between mountain peaks, often enshrouded in mist, creating a more secluded and mystical ambience that is designed to blend into its mountainous surroundings, emphasizing its spiritual and retreat-like nature. These strategic choices in location and design not only served practical purposes, but also conveyed the spiritual and cultural values of the Inca civilization. Continuing the exploration of Incan architectural ingenuity, Sacsayhuaman not only stands out as an architectural and ceremonial masterpiece, but also as a strategic military fortress, exemplifying the Incas' deep understanding of military tactics and effective landscape utilization. Its defensive characteristics are meticulously designed, blending the natural and constructed environments seamlessly. Strategically perched on a hill overlooking Cusco, Sacsayhuaman's elevated position offered the Incas a crucial vantage point from which they could observe any approaching threats. This advantageous positioning provided ample time to prepare defenses or mount counterattacks, making it an integral part of the region's security. Access to Sacsayhuaman was deliberately limited, with a few heavily guarded entrances. These were intentionally designed to be narrow, forcing attacking forces to enter in reduced numbers and become vulnerable to attacks from defenders positioned along the walls above and to the sides. Within the walls, the arrangement allowed for excellent visibility and easy communication between different sections of the fortress. Signal fires and other forms of visual messaging were used to coordinate defensive efforts across Sacsayhuaman and with other nearby fortifications, further enhancing its defensive capabilities. When comparing the defensive structures of Sacsayhuaman with those of medieval European castles, like the iconic Edinburgh Castle in Scotland, several intriguing contrasts and similarities come to light. Unlike the stone and mortar construction typical of European castles, Sacsayhuaman's walls were crafted using the ashlar technique, which involves fitting stones together without mortar. This technique not only provided significant earthquake resistance, but also ensured there were no weak points like mortar that could be easily undermined or eroded. Both Sacsayhuaman and many medieval castles share the strategic positioning on elevated ground, a common defensive feature that underscores the universal tactical advantage of controlling high ground. This strategic similarity highlights the shared understanding of defensive architecture across different cultures and epochs, each adapting to their unique environments and technological capabilities.
But what about this bizarre enclosure wall that surrounds it? Each of these 3 blocks weighs 900 tons. And it's extraordinary the way they're built into a wall and raised 30 feet above the ground like this. A wall, the provenance for which has not been established by archaeology.
Deep within the dense forests of New Zealand's North Island lies the Kaimanawa Wall, a structure shrouded in mystery and controversy. With its precisely aligned blocks that mimic the handiwork of an ancient stonemason, this wall challenges the conventional timeline of human history in New Zealand. Could this be the remnants of a lost civilization, or simply an incredible feat of natural geology? Or was there another creator of these walls we don't know about? As debates continue and theories abound, the Kaimanawa Wall invites explorers and scholars alike to delve into its mysterious presence, potentially rewriting history with each new discovery. In the 1990s, an unexpected discovery by helicopter pilot Barry Brailsford dramatically shifted the focus of historical and archaeological exploration in New Zealand. While flying over the dense, rugged terrain of the Kaimanawa Ranges in the central part of the North Island, Brailsford spotted an unusual formation. From his aerial vantage point, this formation was clearly visible as a series of large, neatly arranged stone blocks. Their unusual and striking regularity, characterized by straight lines and precise angles, made them stand out distinctly from the natural ruggedness of the surrounding landscape. This area of the Kaimanawa Forest Park is quite remote and not easily accessible on foot, which likely explains why the formation had remained unnoticed by ground-based observers. Recognizing the potential significance of his find, Brailsford took decisive steps to ensure that both the public and the scientific community became aware of the formation. He began by capturing photographs of the wall. These images were crucial for documenting its characteristics and facilitating the initial assessments by geologists and archaeologists. Understanding the broader implications, Brailsford also reached out to local media outlets, sharing his findings and the intriguing images of the wall. This proactive engagement with the media was instrumental in sparking widespread interest and debate about the nature and origins of the wall, bringing it into the public eye and making it a subject of fascination and controversy in equal measure. The Kaimanawa Wall and its peculiar features bear a striking resemblance to ancient megalithic structures, sparking a lively debate about its origins, whether it's a product of natural geological processes or an artifact of an ancient civilization. The wall is remarkable for its orderly assembly of large rhyolite blocks. These stones are not only uniform in size, but also exhibit geometric precision with their straight edges and sharp angles, characteristics that are uncommon in natural rock formations, which typically show more random and varied profiles. The wall stretches approximately 30 meters in length and stands about 2 meters high. Each block is nearly identical in size, which varies slightly, but stays within a narrow range, suggesting a level of precision that is either a remarkable act of nature or evidence of human craftsmanship. To understand more about this mysterious structure, detailed geological surveys have been conducted at the site. These involve analyzing rock samples and the structural composition of the wall to determine the type of rock, its age, and the possible geological processes that could have led to such a structured appearance. The findings reveal that the wall is composed of rhyolite, a volcanic rock prevalent in the Taupo volcanic zone. Rhyolite can fracture naturally in straight lines, particularly under conditions where the lava cools uniformly and slowly. The uniform and angular disposition of the blocks at the Kaimanawa Wall is consistent with certain types of natural stone fracturing processes, known in geology as jointing, which can create angular and straight fractures. Most geological assessments classify the Kaimanawa Wall as a natural formation, primarily because of the natural occurrence of columnar jointing in volcanic rocks, similar to rhyolite. This process can result in formations with surprising geometric regularity, akin to those found in well-known sites like the Giant's Causeway. The debate continues, however, as these compelling comparisons and scientific analyses deepen the mystery, leaving room for different interpretations and ongoing research into this megalithic structure. The Giant's Causeway, nestled on the northeast coast of Northern Ireland, serves as a stunning natural wonder of the world and provides an interesting point of comparison to the mysterious structures of New Zealand's Kaimanawa Wall. Renowned for its roughly 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, the Giant's Causeway was formed about 50 to 60 million years ago during the Paleogene period. This unique formation occurred when a volcanic eruption caused highly fluid lava to spread across a large area. As this lava cooled, it contracted significantly, particularly at the surface, which cooled more rapidly. This contraction led to the formation of vertical cracks that ultimately shaped the distinctive hexagonal columns that are so characteristic of the causeway. Interestingly, while most of these columns are hexagonal, they can have anywhere from 4 to 8 sides. The columns vary in height, with the tallest reaching about 12 meters and diameters ranging from 15 to 25 centimeters. Beyond its geological significance, the Giant's Causeway is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, celebrated for its natural beauty and its contribution to geological research. This site is particularly valued for its classic example of columnar jointing, offering vital insights into volcanic cooling processes. It acts as a crucial natural laboratory for geologists who study these phenomena and has played a pivotal role in confirming theories regarding the cooling rates and contraction forces of basaltic lava. The site is also deeply embedded in local mythology and folklore, most notably through the legend of Finn McCool, an Irish giant. According to legend, Finn built the causeway to reach Scotland and confront another giant. When he saw the immense size of his opponent, Finn retreated. His wife then cleverly disguised him as a baby, tricking the Scottish giant into believing that if the child was so large, the father must be truly colossal. Frightened by this prospect, the Scottish giant fled, destroying the causeway behind him to prevent pursuit. Turning to the Kaimanawa Wall, while it shares the feature of symmetrical stone patterns with the Giant's Causeway, its origin sparks more debate. The discussion oscillates between natural geological processes and possible human construction, unlike the clearly natural origins of the Giant's Causeway. This situation highlights how similar geological phenomena can manifest under vastly different conditions and interpretations, showcasing the complexities and wonders of Earth's geological diversity. This comparison between two such diverse geological formations underlines the intricate ways in which natural forces and, potentially, human influences intertwine to shape our understanding of the world's ancient landscapes. Another reason to believe the Kaimanawa Wall in New Zealand could have been man-made is by looking at the Inca walls in Peru. They both represent two fascinating yet starkly different types of stone constructions, each with their own unique characteristics, construction techniques, and surrounding theories. The Inca walls, notably at sites like Sacsayhuaman and Ollantaytambo near Cusco, demonstrate an exceptional level of craftsmanship in stone masonry. The Incas utilized a technique known as ashlar masonry, where large stones are meticulously cut to fit together tightly without any mortar. The precision of this stone cutting is so remarkable that not even a blade of grass can fit between the stones. This technique not only provided structural stability but also enhanced the wall's resistance to earthquakes, a common threat in the Andean region. These walls are not just functional, they hold significant cultural importance, reflecting the Incas' sophisticated understanding of architecture and their deep connection to their environment. The alignments of the walls with celestial events like solstices and equinoxes underscore their importance in Inca religion and agricultural practices. The precise methods used by the Incas to shape these stones remain a subject of debate among archaeologists. Some theories suggest the use of tools made from harder stones or bronze, while others propose techniques that involved heating the stones and then rapidly cooling them with water to create fractures. In contrast, the origin of New Zealand's Kaimanawa Wall is shrouded in debate. While some suggest it might be a natural geological formation resulting from the regular fracturing of volcanic rock, specifically rhyolite under certain cooling conditions, others speculate about its potential as a man-made structure. A key point in this debate is the absence of tool marks, which are clearly visible on the Inca walls. This supports the theory that the Kaimanawa Wall's formation might be natural rather than crafted by human hands. The unusual regularity and symmetry of the stones at the Kaimanawa Wall, while rare in natural formations, are not deemed impossible by geologists. Similar formations have been noted in other parts of the world where columnar basalt or other fracturing patterns have occurred due to volcanic activity. The Inca walls are undeniably the result of intentional, skilled labor, showcasing advanced techniques in stone cutting and construction. In contrast, the Kaimanawa Wall, if a product of natural geological processes, represents an intriguing example of how natural forces can mimic the appearance of intentional construction. While the Inca walls were integral to the social and religious fabric of their creators, built to last and to impress both the gods and future generations, the Kaimanawa Wall's significance lies primarily in the mystery of its origins, whether it is a remarkable natural geological artifact or evidence of a forgotten civilization. The Kaimanawa Wall, if confirmed to be man-made origins, could radically reshape our understanding of New Zealand's prehistoric past. This enigmatic structure could suggest the presence of an advanced pre-Maori civilization, challenging the currently accepted timeline of human settlement in the region. Such a revelation has significant implications, not just for archaeologists and historians, but for the entire narrative of New Zealand's history. Over time, the wall has woven itself into the fabric of local lore and speculative histories. Various non-mainstream historians and enthusiasts have suggested that it might be evidence of ancient settlers or even lost civilizations. This is similar to the speculative interpretations that surround other mysterious ancient structures found worldwide, where local myths and global intrigue often blend to form compelling tales of forgotten histories. The ongoing interest in the Kaimanawa Wall exemplifies a broader global fascination with unexplained structures. It continues to be a focal point for discussions about archaeological methodologies and the interpretation of ancient sites. This mystery invites a deeper dive into the past, prompting calls from within the scientific community for more comprehensive studies to ascertain the true nature of the wall. Such investigations are crucial, as they not only help clarify the origins of specific structures but also enhance our understanding of the human footprint across different epochs and geographies.
For hundreds of years, the Angkor Wat was abandoned in a dense forest, a jungle. The scale of the ancient remains of Angkor Wat are 500 times larger than the pyramids. It is more difficult to construct the remains of Angkor Wat than to construct Los Angeles of the United States again.
The Khmer Empire, known for its remarkable architectural achievements and extensive territorial reach, has been further illuminated by modern LiDAR technology. This advanced tool has allowed archaeologists to peer beneath the dense jungle canopy, uncovering hidden aspects of this ancient civilization.
And that is the center of the Khmer Empire, right there. That's the area that we're going to be looking at.
Two significant sites, Angkor and Mahendraparvata, have been the focus of extensive LiDAR surveys, revealing a wealth of previously unknown details about the empire's urban planning, water management, and agricultural practices. The Khmer Empire, particularly its epicenter at Angkor, has long been renowned for its architectural grandeur and sophisticated infrastructure. The advent of LiDAR technology has provided unprecedented insights into the scale and complexity of Angkor's urban sprawl, water management systems, and extensive road networks. These discoveries have significantly expanded our understanding of this ancient civilization, uncovering a host of new details about its construction methods, architectural styles, and the logistical prowess required to build such an expansive empire.
The prehistory of this place, at least of Cambodia, is not well known.
Between 2012 and 2015, a series of LiDAR surveys revealed the true extent of Angkor's urban sprawl. These surveys covered over 1,000 square kilometers, extending far beyond the well-known temple complexes of Angkor Wat and Angkor Thom. The detailed scans unveiled a densely populated urban environment with a highly organized grid-like pattern, showcasing the empire's sophisticated urban planning. The scans uncovered thousands of previously unknown residential areas, each consisting of houses, courtyards, and urban blocks. These residential zones were systematically arranged, reflecting a high degree of planning and social organization. Each household likely included wooden structures built on stilts, which have since decayed, leaving only the foundations visible through LiDAR. These homes were complemented by communal spaces and agricultural plots, indicating a well-balanced urban lifestyle. Angkor was revealed to be a hydraulic city, featuring an intricate network of canals, reservoirs known as barrays, and moats. These systems were crucial for irrigation, flood control, and sustaining the urban population. The network of water management structures showcased the Khmer Empire's engineering expertise, with meticulously designed channels ensuring efficient water distribution and management.
Archaeologists don't know the truth of Earth history. It is just that they keep on making noise.
The West Baray, one of the largest man-made reservoirs in the world, measures approximately 8 kilometers long and about 2 kilometers wide, with a capacity of around 50 million cubic meters. It played a pivotal role in Angkor's water management system. The East Baray, slightly smaller but equally impressive, was similarly designed to manage water resources efficiently. These barrays not only served practical purposes, but also held significant religious and symbolic meanings. The construction of these waterworks involved elaborate spillways, dikes, and water channels. The spillways were engineered to manage water flow during the rainy season, preventing floods and ensuring a stable water supply year-round. The dikes and channels were constructed using massive sandstone blocks, each weighing several tons. These blocks were quarried from the Kulen Mountains, approximately 40 kilometers away, and transported to Angkor through a combination of riverine and overland routes. LiDAR technology has also revealed a network of ancient highways radiating from Angkor, connecting it to other major centers within the Khmer Empire. These roads were meticulously planned and constructed, reflecting the empire's emphasis on connectivity and control. Lined with rest stops and administrative outposts, these highways facilitated travel and communication across the empire. Some outposts included large structures, possibly serving as storage or garrison facilities, indicating their importance in maintaining the empire's cohesion. The discovery of raised causeways highlighted the advanced construction techniques employed by Khmer builders. These causeways, often several kilometers long, were elevated to remain functional during the monsoon season. LiDAR scans also uncovered numerous previously unknown temples and structures, some buried under centuries of vegetation.
This area became Indianized at this point. Indian patriots claimed that this was actually Greater India.
These discoveries included both small shrines and large temple complexes, enhancing the already rich religious landscape of Angkor. Among the newly discovered structures were small shrines with intricate carvings and large temples with multiple sanctuaries, reflecting the diverse architectural styles and religious practices of the Khmer Empire. Detailed mapping of remote temple sites like Bante Chmar revealed intricate bas-reliefs and hidden chambers. Located in northwest Cambodia, Bante Chmar is one of the largest temple complexes outside Angkor. The bas reliefs at Bante Chmar depict scenes of battles, religious rituals, and daily life. The temple complex also features large enclosures and moats, indicative of its significance and scale. The types and sizes of structures discovered through LIDAR are varied and impressive. Angkor Wat, the largest religious monument in the world, covers an area of 401 acres. Constructed primarily from sandstone blocks, some weighing up to 1.5 tons, Angkor Wat is renowned for its grandeur and intricate bas-reliefs. Bayon Temple, known for its enigmatic smiling faces, features 54 towers adorned with 216 stone faces. The temple's complex structure includes numerous galleries and chambers, constructed using massive stone blocks. Ta Prohm, famous for the intertwining roots of large trees enveloping the temple ruins, exemplifies the blend of nature and architecture. This temple complex is extensive, with multiple courtyards and corridors, creating a sense of discovery and enchantment. The LIDAR scans also revealed the layout of residential and administrative buildings. Although the wooden structures have decayed, their stone foundations show the layout of residential areas. These houses were built on stilts to protect against flooding and pests. Along the highways, several large buildings likely served as administrative centers. Constructed with laterite and sandstone, these buildings featured multiple rooms and storage areas, highlighting their multifunctional use. Stone blocks used in these constructions were primarily sourced from the Kulin Mountains. Sandstone blocks, the primary material for temple construction, were transported to Angkor using a combination of river and land routes. Some of these blocks weighed as much as 1.5 tons. Laterite blocks, used primarily for foundation work and less visible structures, were sourced locally. Their porous nature made them easier to work with, though they were less durable than sandstone. In 2012, archaeologists using LIDAR technology rediscovered Mahendra Parvata, one of the first major capitals of the Khmer Empire. This city, situated on Phnom Kulin Mountain, predates the famous Angkor Wat and offers a glimpse into the formative years of Khmer urban development. The LIDAR scans covered the dense jungle canopy, uncovering the hidden city and providing a comprehensive map of its layout. The city featured a grid pattern with clearly defined residential areas, public buildings, temples, and roads. The scans uncovered thousands of structures, including residential homes, administrative buildings, and religious complexes, illustrating the complexity and sophistication of the city's planning. Numerous temples, many dating back to the early 9th century, were discovered beneath thick jungle foliage. These temples provided valuable insights into the religious practices and architectural styles of the early Khmer Empire. Among the notable discoveries were Prasat O Paong and Prasat Damre Krab, which featured unique carvings and architectural elements, showcasing the artistic and religious fervor of the period. The discovery of causeways and bridges demonstrated the advanced engineering capabilities of the Khmer builders. These structures allowed for efficient transportation across challenging terrains, including rivers and valleys. The causeways were often elevated and lined with laterite and sandstone blocks, ensuring their stability and longevity even during the rainy season. The LIDAR scans revealed large-scale agricultural terraces on the slopes of Phnom Kulin Mountain. These terraces were used for rice cultivation and other crops, demonstrating sophisticated agricultural techniques that supported a large population. The terraces were meticulously constructed to manage water flow and prevent soil erosion, indicating a deep understanding of agronomy and environmental management. The presence of reservoirs and channels indicated a complex water management system designed to irrigate the terraced fields and manage seasonal water flow. These systems were essential for sustaining agriculture in the mountainous terrain. The reservoirs, known as barays, were strategically placed to collect and distribute water, ensuring a stable supply throughout the year.
With 130,000 years of human prehistory, of which only the last 13,000 years have been documented because of the archaeological dogma that there was no point in looking deeper. Goodness knows what was happening here in that time, that so far just nobody has cared to look for. It could have been the location of hitherto unrecognized advances and developments in the story of civilization.
Welcome to the mysterious world of Gunung Padang, Southeast Asia's largest and most mysterious megalithic site, nestled deep in the mountains of West Java, Indonesia. Today, we're diving into the secrets of this ancient structure that dates back thousands of years. From hidden chambers beneath its massive stone terraces to controversial age, estimates that challenge our understanding of human history, what untold stories does Gunung Padang hold? Stay tuned as we uncover the layers of mystery surrounding this incredible archaeological puzzle. Gunung Padang is shrouded in mystery due to its extensive stone structures and enigmatic origins. The site, situated on a mountain about 30 kilometers southwest of Cianjur and 90 kilometers from Jakarta, first caught the attention of the international community during the Dutch colonial era in Indonesia. Reports dating back to the 1910s describe Dutch historians and archaeologists being intrigued by its large stones arranged in complex patterns. Despite these early recognitions, it wasn't until much later, with the maturity of Indonesia's own archaeological institutions, that Gunung Padang received more thorough exploration. In the mid-20th century, the site was sporadically studied by local researchers, and during the 1970s and the 1980s, Indonesian archaeologists conducted preliminary surveys, noting the extensive terraced structures. However, these were still relatively surface-level explorations. A significant turn in the investigation of Gunung Padang occurred in 2010 when Dr. Danny Hilman Natawijaya, a geologist associated with the Indonesian Institute of Sciences, took an active interest in the site due to its unique geological formations. Dr. Natawijaya's engagement marked the beginning of an in-depth exploration using modern technologies such as ground-penetrating radar, seismic tomography, and advanced radiocarbon dating techniques, which allowed researchers to peer beneath the surface and uncover layers and features previously unseen. From 2011 to 2012, early radiocarbon tests on these layers suggested that the upper visible layers of the site were constructed between 500 and 1500 years ago, aligning with the age of other known megalithic sites in Southeast Asia. However, the narrative took a dramatic turn in 2013, when deeper investigations indicated the presence of layers that could date back to at least 9000 BC, and possibly as far back as 20,000 BC. These findings, which suggested a much older timeline for human civilization in Southeast Asia, were further complemented in 2014 by discoveries of potential man-made structures and chambers beneath the mountain's surface, adding layers of mystery and complexity to the site's construction. The implications of these findings are profound, stirring significant debate among the archaeological community. If the estimations hold true, they would indicate that advanced societies capable of complex construction projects existed in Southeast Asia far earlier than previously believed. The exploration of Gunung Padang not only challenges our understanding of prehistoric human activity, but also stirs national pride in Indonesia, leading to increased support from the government for archaeological research to delve deeper into the country's ancient history. This ongoing research continues to unveil new facets of the site, promising to enrich our understanding of early human societies. Gunung Padang is a fascinating archaeological site that showcases the ancient engineering and architectural prowess of its builders. Perched atop a hill and sprawling over an area of roughly 900 square meters, this site is one of Southeast Asia's most significant megalithic complexes. The builders employed a variety of rectangular andesite stones, a volcanic rock noted for its hardness, which they arranged into massive terraces that narrate the tale of different epochs and construction techniques. The stones at Gunung Padang vary widely in size, with some weighing several tons and the largest reaching up to 7 meters in length and weighing over 40 tons. The method used to arrange these heavy stones into terraces would have required not only a sophisticated knowledge of engineering, but also the use of tools like levers, wooden rollers, and perhaps the power of humans or animals. Surrounding these terraces are walls built from columnar joints of volcanic rocks. These walls serve both functional and aesthetic purposes, indicating that the ancient builders not only sought durability against weathering, but also had an eye for design. Radiocarbon dating of the organic materials found within the soil layers tells us that the upper visible layers of the site were constructed between 500 and 1500 BC. However, it is the deeper, less visible layers that truly captivate archaeologists, as advanced imaging techniques suggest there could be constructions buried that date back farther. If these findings prove accurate, Gunung Padang would not only be the oldest known megalithic site in Southeast Asia, but would also rival the age of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which is currently considered one of the world's oldest temple complexes. One intriguing theory about Gunung Padang is that it might have served as more than just a communal or ceremonial center. It could have had astronomical purposes. Some researchers believe that the arrangement of the stones and the orientation of the terraces could align with celestial bodies and significant events like solstices and equinoxes, a practice observed in other ancient megalithic sites around the world. This suggests that the site's creators had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy, which they incorporated into their religious and social practices. When compared to Stonehenge in England, which was built between 3000 BC and 2000 BC, Gunung Padang's potential origins around 20,000 BC place it much earlier in the timeline of megalithic construction. While both sites share similarities in their possible astronomical significance and their use of large stones, Gunung Padang's terraces add a unique layer of complexity and grandeur, suggesting that megalithic culture in Southeast Asia could be far older than previously understood. Continuing our exploration of Gunung Padang, let's delve deeper into the remarkable aspects that highlight its ancient architectural ingenuity and potential cosmological significance. The site's construction techniques are particularly impressive due to the massive columnar basalt rocks that comprise its structure. Not native to the immediate area, these rocks were transported several kilometers, showcasing the ancient builders' advanced knowledge in engineering and logistics. The likely method of moving these heavy stones involved rolling them over logs, a challenging feat given the terrain and the weight of the stones, which could reach several tons. Furthermore, the layout of Gunung Padang may reflect more than just architectural intent. It seems to mirror an astronomical blueprint similar to that of Stonehenge or the pyramids of Giza, which align with solstices and other celestial events. This alignment suggests that Gunung Padang might have served as an ancient observatory, with certain stones positioned to mark solar and lunar events, thereby serving a practical purpose in agricultural and ceremonial life. Recent investigations have brought to light another fascinating feature: large underground chambers revealed through geophysical surveys. These chambers could potentially be ancient burial sites or storage for cultural artifacts, representing older construction phases concealed beneath more recent layers. This discovery hints at a much larger and more complex site than what is visible on the surface. The debates surrounding the age of Gunung Padang are as lively as they are pivotal. Some researchers suggest that the site could be up to 22,000 years old, based on indirect dating methods such as analyzing sediment layers and geological formations. These controversial estimates, if proven correct, would challenge the established timelines of human civilization and technology development, making Gunung Padang a key site for understanding prehistoric human societies. Additionally, there are speculative theories about the carvings and inscriptions found at Gunung Padang, possibly indicating cultural links with other distant ancient civilizations. These theories, while not yet proven, suggest that the site could have connections as far-reaching as Africa or the Indian subcontinent, hinting at a more interconnected prehistoric world. An interesting comparison can be drawn between Gunung Padang and Nan Madol, located on the island of Pohnpei in the western Pacific Ocean. Known as the Venice of the Pacific, Nan Madol features ruins linked by canals and constructed with large basalt logs, similar to the massive stone pillars used at Gunung Padang. Both sites demonstrate advanced quarrying, transporting, and assembly techniques in challenging environments, showcasing the ingenuity of their builders and possibly suggesting exchanges of cultural practices and technological knowledge across vast distances. These comparisons not only underline the architectural achievements of these ancient builders, but also enrich our understanding of their capabilities and the extent of their cultural interactions.
It's been said in many, many different cultures around the world that a lot of these structures were built at a very rapid pace. So you're talking about calculus, you're talking about geology.
Yeah.
I mean, how did they know how to build this? We're talking about something, in my opinion, super ancient. But these sites are all really majestic and super ancient.
Today, we're diving into one of the world's most enigmatic archaeological mysteries, the Bada Valley megaliths. Nestled in the lush landscapes of central Sulawesi, these ancient stone structures have baffled experts for over a century.
But this is thousands of years and it's still sitting there perfect. I bet if you fill it with water, the water wouldn't even leak out of it.
Who built these colossal statues and stone jars? What secrets do they hold about a forgotten civilization? Join us as we uncover the mysterious origins and fascinating theories behind these remarkable relics. Located in the Lor Lindu National Park of central Sulawesi, Indonesia, the Bada Valley megaliths first came to the attention of the Western world through the efforts of Dutch colonialists in the early 20th century. During a 1908 Dutch military expedition, Dr. Nicolaas Adriani and Dr. Albertus Christian Cruyt documented these remarkable stone structures. Their meticulous reports and photographs marked a pivotal moment in the scholarly exploration of these ancient artifacts. Dr. Adriani and Dr. Cruyt were not merely military explorers, but also seasoned ethnologists with a keen interest in the cultures of Indonesia. Their documentation included detailed descriptions, measurements, and photographs, which were essential in preserving the initial data about the megaliths. These early records remain a valuable resource for researchers today, as many of the megaliths have since weathered and eroded. Their efforts sparked a wave of academic curiosity that has continued for over a century, although the remote location and challenging terrain of the Bada Valley have limited extensive archaeological studies.
Nobody honestly knows who did the work. We simply know that it was an ancient civilization that obviously had advanced technology.
The origins of the Bada Valley megaliths are shrouded in mystery. No written records or definitive oral traditions link these structures to a specific culture or time period, leaving their creators and purpose open to interpretation. This absence of concrete historical context has led to a multitude of theories, each offering a different perspective on these enigmatic stones. Determining the age of the Bada Valley megaliths has proven challenging. Some researchers estimate that the megaliths could date back as far as 2000 BCE, based on stylistic comparisons with other ancient Southeast Asian artifacts. Others argue for a more recent origin, proposing that they were created around the 14th century CE.
All of these places are likely pre-cataclysmic, so at least 13,000 years old.
The primary difficulty in dating these structures lies in the lack of organic material associated with them, which precludes radiocarbon dating. In the absence of direct dating methods, researchers have turned to indirect clues. For example, the weathering patterns on the stones suggest they have been exposed to the elements for many centuries. Additionally, the tools and techniques required to carve such hard stones indicate a sophisticated level of technology that was not commonly available in the region until later periods. Despite these efforts, the precise timeline of the megalith's creation remains elusive. A unique and particularly fascinating aspect of the Bada Valley megaliths is the presence of a megalith known as Langke Bulawa. This particular megalith is not only one of the largest, but also features detailed carvings of human-like figures. The intricacy of these carvings suggests a high degree of skill and artistic expression. One intriguing theory about the Bada Valley megaliths proposes that they were created as part of a complex system of territorial markers and spiritual waypoints. According to this hypothesis, the megaliths were erected by a prehistoric culture to demarcate important areas such as tribal boundaries, sacred sites, or routes used for migration and trade. This theory is supported by the strategic placement of some megaliths along ancient pathways and near water sources, suggesting they may have served both practical and ceremonial purposes. An interesting comparison can be drawn between the Bada Valley megaliths and the Moai statues of Easter Island. Both sets of megaliths are characterized by their large carved stone figures, which display a remarkable level of craftsmanship and effort.
He actually speculates that they were able to temporarily turn the stone into a form of plasma.
However, while the Moai are primarily found along the coastline and oriented towards the sea, possibly serving as guardians or representations of ancestors, the Bada Valley megaliths are scattered throughout a lush inland valley. This contrast in placement and presumed purpose highlights the diverse ways in which ancient cultures utilized and interpreted their monumental stone creations. The Bada Valley megaliths are renowned for their diverse shapes and sizes, reflecting a variety of forms and functions. These ancient stone structures can be categorized into several types, each with its unique characteristics and presumed purposes. The craftsmanship involved in creating these megaliths indicates a high level of skill and a deep cultural significance. The statues, or arca, are anthropomorphic megaliths that often resemble human figures. They range from crude, roughly hewn shapes to more refined and detailed representations. Typically, these statues depict heads with prominent facial features including eyes, noses, and mouths. Some statues also include arms and other body parts, adding to their lifelike appearance. The most famous of these statues is Palindo, which stands approximately 4.5 meters tall and weighs several tons. Palindo is one of the largest and most well-known figures in the valley, characterized by its distinct facial features and overall grandeur. The name Palindo means the entertainer, suggesting a possible ceremonial or cultural role. Other notable statues include those with less defined features, indicating a range of artistic expression and possibly different time periods or cultural phases. The kalamba are large cylindrical stone jars, believed to have served various purposes, including as urns or water containers. These jars are meticulously carved from single stone blocks and vary significantly in size and design. Some kalamba are over 1 meter in diameter and can reach heights of 1.5 meters or more. A unique aspect of these jars is that some have lids, while others do not. The lids are often as carefully carved as the jars themselves, indicating their importance. The kalamba jars sometimes feature intricate carvings and motifs, which may include geometric patterns or symbolic representations. These jars are thought to have been used in burial practices, possibly as urns to hold the remains of the deceased or for ceremonial purposes involving water. Their size and craftsmanship suggest they were significant items, potentially used by high-status individuals or in important rituals. Stone basins and bowls of varying sizes are another significant category of the Bada Valley megaliths. These structures often feature intricate decorations and motifs, which may provide clues about their usage and cultural importance. Basins and bowls range from small handheld sizes to large immovable structures that could hold significant amounts of liquid or other materials. Some of these basins are intricately decorated with carvings that include geometric patterns, animals, or symbolic motifs. The creation of the Bada Valley megaliths would have required sophisticated techniques and tools, as well as a well-organized workforce.
So what happened to all these tools?
Whoever did the work came, brought the technology, and then took the technology with them somewhere.
The megaliths are carved from hard stones such as granite and basalt, which would have been sourced from local quarries. The initial quarrying process involved separating large stone blocks from bedrock, likely using a combination of chiseling, hammering, and possibly heating and cooling techniques to create fractures. Once quarried, the massive stone blocks would have needed to be transported to their final locations. This would have involved a significant logistical effort, likely utilizing wooden sledges, rollers, and possibly animal or human labor to move the stones across the valley's challenging terrain. The fine carving and finishing of the megaliths were achieved using a variety of stone tools, including chisels, hammers, and grinding stones. The precision of the carvings, especially on the harder stones, indicates the use of advanced techniques and considerable skill. Some megaliths feature intricate designs and motifs that suggest the use of finer, more specialized tools for detailed work. A unique and particularly fascinating fact about the Bada Valley megaliths is the presence of a megalith known as Lanka Bulawa. This structure is a large stone slab with a carved human figure lying prone. One interesting theory posits that the Bada Valley megaliths were part of a vast interconnected network of megalithic cultures that spanned Southeast Asia. This theory suggests that there was significant cultural exchange and communication between these ancient societies, which shared similar techniques, artistic styles, and possibly religious beliefs. The spread of megalithic structures across this region may reflect a shared heritage or influence, hinting at a much more interconnected prehistoric world than previously thought. A compelling comparison can be made between the Bada Valley megaliths and the stone carvings of the Olmec civilization in Mesoamerica. Both cultures produced large, anthropomorphic stone statues with distinct facial features, although separated by vast distances and different historical contexts. The Olmec heads, known for their detailed and expressive facial features, bear a stylistic resemblance to some of the Bada Valley statues, particularly in the emphasis on facial expression and scale. This comparison underscores the universal human inclination to create monumental art and the possibility of convergent cultural evolution in different parts of the world.